What's up, guys? Welcome back to another video. So today, March Madness it starts tomorrow. By the time I'll be posting this, so right now where I'm making this video, it starts tomorrow. I'll also post it today. And so if you guys are watching this the day I post it, March Madness is tomorrow. The playing games are today, but we're gonna be So I'm gonna be giving my March Madness predictions here on from the ESPN tournament challenge. And so here we go. So I'm a Florida fan, if you guys didn't know. But let's see who I predict to win. So first one, I think it's a no-brainer, Gonzaga. I think they're gonna end up playing Appalachian State, but I think Gonzaga is going to win it. Oklahoma versus Missouri. So this is going to be a really good game, I believe. I think both teams will play good, but from what I've seen, Missouri has been on a little bit of a downfall down later to the season. So I think Oklahoma is going to take home that W. Creighton versus UCSB. Here we can press the information button, and here we go. So UCSB 22-4 against Creighton 20-8. Obviously UCSB has played easier teams. Creighton is 3-2 versus top 25, and they are ranked number 13 right now in the country. But I think UCSB is gonna pull off the upset here. First upset so far that I have predicted. There will be more, trust me. Virginia versus Ohio. That is another game that is a lot of people have been predicting Ohio. They've been predicting Ohio will win. Virginia is 1-3 versus ranked opponents. They have not done. I think with COVID, they will be lucky to maybe even make the tournament and play it. Well, they made it, but playing it. So I think Ohio with another upset. So I'm going to have UCSB versus Ohio here in the round of 32 they will be playing. So now I think Wichita State is a team that always surprisingly does good in March Madness. I think they'll beat Drake and go on to play USC. But do I think they will win? No, I think USC is going to come away with the win. 3 Kansas versus 14 Eastern Washington at 16-7. I think that's easy. I'm going with Kansas there. So this is a good game. VCU usually plays good in March Madness. VCU number 10, 19-7 against number 7 Oregon, 20-6 on TNT. Both teams have lost their only game they played against ranked opponents. Closest so far in BPI rank, I think. But VCU has played good. They always play good in March Madness, it seems like. But this year, I think that is not going to happen. I think Oregon will be able to take it home. Will be able to go to the second round against, let's see, Iowa, number 2 seeded, number 5 in the country against Grand Canyon. No, I was winning that. Here, I think Mount St. Mary's will beat Texas Southern to go on to play Michigan. So, but with Michigan being a 1 seed, all the hype they're going to have in this tournament, I'm going with Michigan beating Mount St. Mary's. I think it will be a close game, though, a surprisingly close game, but I think Michigan will win. LSU St. Bonaventure. This could be a good game. St. Bonaventure at 16-4. LSU. St. Bonaventure is 28 in BPI rank, so they are close to being in the top 25. LSU made it to the SEC championship, but I'm going with St. Bonaventure for the upset. Georgetown and Colorado. Georgetown did not have the best regular season, but they upset Villanova, Creighton. They had a great run in their conference tournament. They won the conference championship to get them here in March Madness, and because of that, I'm going with Georgetown beating Colorado. Florida State versus UNC Greensboro. As a Florida fan, I hate to say this, but I think Florida State has a good basketball team. I do. They do have a good basketball team. 2-0 versus ranked opponents going up against UNCG. I'm going with Florida State here in this one. BYU versus, I think, Michigan State. I'm predicting Michigan State to win that. I think BYU is going to pull it off. I think it will be a close one, but I think BYU is going to come away with a victory. Texas versus Abilene Christian. Abilene Christian 23-14, 82 in BPI ranking. That shows you how good the teams they play are. I'm going with Texas here in this one, going on to play BYU in a round of 34. UConn, Maryland. This is going to be a good game, I think. Maryland 16-13, UConn 15-7. But I'm going with Maryland in this one. Alabama, Iona. That's an easy one. I'm going with Alabama. Same thing with the next one, Baylor versus Hartford. I think Baylor will pull it off. 8 North Carolina versus 9 Wisconsin. And I think this will be a really good game. North Carolina did not have the best season last year. Luckily, though, for them, March Madness didn't happen because they weren't going to make it. But this year, I think they'll make it and they'll win in the first round of 62. 5 Villanova versus 12 Winthrop. This is one I think could be an upset. 23-1 Winthrop. I think they're going to pull it off. Villanova, once again, is going to get upset. 4 Purdue versus 13 North Texas. I think this has a probability of it being an upset. But all in all, Purdue at 18-9 have been playing good later in the season so far. I'm going with Purdue to take on Winthrop in the round of 34. Texas Tech versus Utah State. I think this has probability of upset, and I think it's going to happen. I think Utah State is going to end up beating Texas Tech. 3 Arkansas versus 14 Colgate. Colgate at 14-1. We have not seen enough out of them. I haven't really watched Colgate. I actually haven't at all because they're Colgate. But this could be an upset. I've seen a lot of people choosing Colgate in this one. Arkansas, with how they played throughout the season to end the season, in the regular season, I shall say, because they lost to LSU in the SEC tournament. But I'm going Arkansas here in this one. Going on to the next round, and here we go, baby. We got Florida versus Virginia Tech. My Gators. 14-9 coming in at a 7 seed tomorrow, the first game of March Madness. I'm going Florida. How could I not? Florida, I think they could beat anyone in the country. They could also lose to anyone in the country, if that makes sense. They've had wins over 6 Tennessee when they were ranked number 6, like I said. And West Virginia when they were ranked 13, 14. I think they can beat anyone in the country, but again, I think they can lose to anyone in the country. 2 Ohio State versus 15 Oral Roberts. I'm going Ohio State in an easy one. Same thing with Illinois over Drexel. Loyola Chicago. We have seen them play basketball. We've seen them play in March Madness 2019, I think. That they were a super fun team to watch. 24-4. They are a good team this year, ranked 23 in the country. Georgia Tech ranked 35 in the country. But Georgia Tech, after beating Florida State in the ACC Championship, going to have some momentum. I don't think they'll have too much momentum where they are overconfident. I think they'll have enough to beat Loyola Chicago and go on to play Illinois. 5 Tennessee versus 12 Oregon State. So Tennessee, I think Oregon State did play good in the Pac-12 tournament. That's why they're here in March Madness, probably. I don't think they were going to make it anyways if they didn't win the conference championship, but they did. I still have them losing to Tennessee in the first round. Oklahoma State versus Liberty. I think Oklahoma State's a great team, and you'll be able to tell that by where I have them going here, as I have them beating Liberty. In the first round, San Diego State and Syracuse. San Diego State had an amazing year last year, almost went undefeated, taking on 11 Syracuse in the round of 64. But I think they are going to lose. I think Syracuse is pulling off the upset. West Virginia, Morehead State, easy one. Going with West Virginia. I'm going to go skip down to Houston, 15 Cleveland State. Going with Houston, that one. So now, in the round of 64, leaving us with one game until we get to the round of 32. Clemson, Rutgers. Rutgers at 15-11. Clemson, 16-7. Has had a couple times they've been ranked over the season. So I'm going with Clemson in this one to take on Houston. As we go on to the round of 32, Gonzaga, Oklahoma. Gonzaga, Oklahoma. Gonzaga, 26-0, undefeated. Oklahoma, 15-10. Average similar numbers in points per game. Or in not points per game, but and so Gonzaga 4-0 versus top 25. Oklahoma 5-7. I'm going Gonzaga. UCSB versus Ohio. This one is weird game for round of 32. But who would think Ohio would make the upset in this one? I do. Ohio is winning this one, going on to play Gonzaga. USC UCS, what the heck? USC versus Kansas. USC, I can't say that right now for some reason. 22-7, Kansas 20-8. Similar rankings. I'm going with the USC in this one, beating Kansas in an upset victory. Iowa, Oregon. This one does not seem like it would be a close game. I'm going with it being it might seem like it will be a close game, depending on who you ask. I'm saying nope, blowout. And I'm saying, Iowa is winning this one. Michigan, St. Bonaventure. St. Bonaventure coming off an upset win against LSU. And so Michigan at a number 1 seed. I do think it will be a close game. But I don't see St. Bonaventure pulling off another upset. I see them making it right there. Georgetown versus Florida State. Once again, Georgetown has played great. I see it being a real close game, but I don't see Georgetown pulling it off. So I think Florida State goes on to face Michigan. Rematch of the Orange Bowl in 2016 football. BYU, Texas. This one will be a good one if it does happen, of course. Texas is a great basketball team. BYU is great too, almost upsetting Gonzaga in their conference championship. But I'm going to have BYU pulling off an upset here. BYU is going to upset Texas, I think. And go on to the next round. To the Sweet 16, Maryland, Alabama. Maryland had a great team last year. Not so much this year. Alabama, though, surprisingly good this year, as I have them beating Maryland, going on to take on BYU. Baylor, North Carolina. Is this an upset game? I think North Carolina can if they play their best. But the question is, do I think they'll play their best? And the answer to that is no. I think Baylor's going to win that game. Winthrop, Purdue. This could be an upset right here. After Winthrop just upset Villanova. A lot of people have Winthrop as their Cinderella team. I do. And a lot of other people do as well. And I'm going to have a Winthrop with an upset over Purdue going on to take on number 1 Baylor. Gonna be a good one. Utah State, after beating Texas Tech, taking on Arkansas. Like I said earlier, Arkansas's played great, but Utah State with a 20-8 record. Arkansas 22-6. I'm having Arkansas running away with this one. Florida and Ohio State, as much as I want Florida to win, I think they can win. I do think they can. But the question is here, as you see, they lost by 15 to Alabama, lost by 11 to Arkansas. Those two were close games throughout the game, just couldn't come away with it. They've beat Tennessee once and lost twice. They lost by 12 to Florida State. I think they would have won that if Keontae Johnson did not collapse. They beat West Virginia by 5. They beat LSU by 4. They lost to Missouri by 2. Like I said, they can beat anyone in the country, but I think they'll lose. Okay, so now Illinois versus Georgia Tech. Like I said, Georgia Tech has played great. I think it will be a good game. But Illinois is an amazing basketball team, and I think they're going to beat Georgia Tech, Oklahoma State, Tennessee. A great game, I think this will be. Both teams play great, but Oklahoma State plays better. I think Oklahoma State has a great team. Everybody knows they'll have the number 1 draft pick in Cade Cunningham. And yeah, I think they're going to end up beating Tennessee. Syracuse and West Virginia. Syracuse, I didn't see them making the tournament, but they did. Earlier this season, I didn't see them. Now, later in the season, I knew they would make it, but I think they're going to make it to the round of 32 and then lose to West Virginia. Clemson, Houston. Clemson is a pretty good team, but Houston's a better team. Houston's got a great basketball team. Houston destroyed Cincinnati in their conference championship. I think Houston's going to the Sweet 16. So here, Gonzaga and Ohio. Who would think Ohio would make it to the Sweet 16, right? Well, I think Gonzaga is going to beat Ohio for sure. I think that's going to be the easiest game in the whole Sweet 16 for sure. USC and Iowa. I had USC beating Kansas. Luka Garza in Iowa. I don't see it happening. I don't see USC beating Iowa. I think Iowa will win and go on to face Gonzaga in the Elite Eight. Michigan, Florida State rematch from the 2016 Orange Bowl, except it's in basketball. I think Florida State is going to pull off the upset. Surprising, right? Yeah, I think Florida State will do it. BYU, Alabama. Alabama had a great game against Mississippi State in the SEC tournament. SEC championship, barely edged off LSU 80-79. BYU making it all the way out here. Could be a surprise to some people. I think Alabama, it's a tough one, a tough decision, it really is. But I think Alabama is going to go on to face Florida State in the Elite Eight. Baylor and Winthrop. Winthrop, as much as I want them to win, I want to say they will win. If they ran into a different team than Baylor, I might just say so, but no. Baylor is going to beat Winthrop. Sadly, I think it will happen. Arkansas, Ohio State. Both teams have played great to end the season. Both teams are close in the rankings, but I think Ohio State is going to beat Arkansas and go on to face Baylor. Illinois, Oklahoma State. Is this an upset alert? It could be. I know you guys will probably call me crazy for this, but I'm going Oklahoma State to beat Illinois because Oklahoma State's got a great team. So does Illinois. But I think Oklahoma State will win. Okay, so we got 3 West Virginia, 2 Houston. What do I choose? It's going to be a great game. I think Houston is going to win coming out of the AAC. I don't know if people would expect. I don't know. I could see a lot of people picking Houston. I think they have. In some videos I have watched, I think Houston's going to win. Gonzaga, Iowa. I think it'll be a great game. Gonzaga going undefeated in the season, beating some really good teams. I think Gonzaga is going to the Final Four after beating Iowa. Florida State, Alabama, 2 teams that you could expect to be here, and they're here. It's a tough decision, but Florida State does not perform good in some games, kind of like the ACC championship, it is going to be a good game, I'll tell you that. But I think Alabama is going to the Final Four. So Alabama fans, you guys are now a basketball team too, not just a football team. I hate to say that, but I think it might be true. Baylor and Ohio State. I think this will be a good game. Baylor 22-2 with a loss to Kansas and I don't know who else. I can't remember. Comment down below if you know who it is. But Baylor almost losing, not almost, but closer than you'd expect against Kansas State in the Big 12 tournament. I'm going Baylor, going to the Final Four. Oklahoma State and Houston. Oklahoma State coming off an upset against Illinois. I think they're going to upset Houston and go on to the Final Four. So the Final Four games, Gonzaga and Alabama. Gonzaga, Alabama. What do I pick? I don't know who to pick, but Alabama performs good. They've lost to Oklahoma too, but I think Gonzaga is the better basketball team. I think Gonzaga's going to the national championship. A bunch of people have picked Gonzaga winning it too. So it just, they're really could be an overhyped team. I don't know. Baylor versus Oklahoma State. Baylor 2 upsets against Illinois then Houston. Or not Baylor. If I said Baylor, I meant Oklahoma State. I think they're going to get another one. I think Oklahoma State's going to the Natty. I think Oklahoma State is going to play Gonzaga in the national championship. I think this will be a good game. I think it will have a lot of lead changes. I think Oklahoma State will have the lead a couple times. Yeah, I think it will be a really good game with Cade Cunningham with Oklahoma State in his final game, probably. Yeah, definitely I'd say so. But I think it's going to be one of those games where towards the end, it's like tied or whatever, and then Gonzaga just pulls away off of getting fouled for free throws. And I think Gonzaga is going to be the national championship with a score of 76-69. So like I said, a close game, a 7-point game. But I think Gonzaga is going to win it. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and submit my picks. And so I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. And I will be going over my bracket and how it did after every round. I will be going over my bracket with you guys. So thanks for watching. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. And we will see you next time.